One of the areas that I've always struggled with in my life is with my identity. I've always compared myself to other people. I've watched how they play sports and I wasn't as good as them. I watched how they would get A's on tests and I would come nowhere near that. I've always battled my own mind, my own thoughts about myself. And then I heard this statement one time. I don't know who said it. I don't know where the origin is from, but it's this. It's not who we are, but it's whose we are. When I started thinking about that statement and applying it into my life and discovering the fact that I was created by God for a plan and for a purpose. 1 Peter 4:10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. You know what that tells me is that God has created you and has created me with these gifts so that we can serve others. That means He created us with a plan. That means my identity is really His identity and His plan. When I start wrapping my mind around that fact, I can start building that confidence within myself, knowing that right now, right here, I have a purpose. And so when I struggle with my identity, when I start thinking about the things that are imperfect about myself or the things that I have done wrong, I start embracing the fact that it's not who I am, but it's whose I am. Maybe you're struggling with your identity. Maybe you have thoughts in your head that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not pretty enough, you don't speak well enough. There's no way that God would ever use you on your school campus or even in your church. Let me just tell you, all the way from Oregon, I'm here to tell you that God has created you with a unique gift to serve others, that He has a plan for you. Right now, I want you to take out your smart device, whatever you need to do to make a list. I want you to make a list of unique giftings that you have. This may be in sports. It may be in art, photography, public speaking. It may be in drama, music. It may be with kids. It may be spending time with the elderly. Whatever it is, I want you to make that list right now. And on that list, the second thing I want you to do is put a check mark to the ones that you are actively using right now. These are the unique gifts you use on a weekly basis. These are the ones that you use to serve others. This may be in your own family, at your school, or at your church. The last thing I want you to do is, if you're not using some of these gifts, I want you to talk to your pastor or your youth pastor and discover how you can use those in your local church or on your school campus. You see, I know for myself, because I struggle with my identity, I always have to have someone there to help encourage me, to keep me moving forward in using the gifts that God has created me with to serve others. We have to make that switch to recognize that we are a child of God. Remember, it's not who we are, but it's whose we are.